Now, Eric Weinmayer, I interviewed Eric Weinmayer back in episode 96. He's a mountaineer. He summited Mount Everest. Amazing feat for any mountaineer, right? He decided, you know what? I want more. I want more adventure. I want to do something new and different. He learns how to whitewater kayak, and he whitewater kayaks the Grand Canyon. Massive whitewater in the Grand Canyon. World class, big whitewater. Either one of these feats is like a lifetime accomplishment for anybody. Eric Weinmayer is blind. Imagine the failure that he had to experience along the way. Do you think the first time that he went rock climbing, he was amazing at it? No, he had to learn rock climbing. And then he had to learn mountaineering. He had to learn how to use ice axes and crampons. He had to learn and fail. Like, imagine the first time he got in a kayak. Do you think he could just hit his roll, his Eskimo roll? Do you think he could hit that right away if he goes upside down? You got to roll up in a kayak? Like, no. Imagine if he thought, you know what? I just must not be good enough to do this. Imagine the failures and setbacks along the way. He's written books, multiple books. He's a couple-time New York Times bestselling author now. And he wrote a book about the whole kayak adventure called No Barriers. Check it out. Amazing. Failure was part of his learning process. Failure was feedback. He had to fail to get better. There's an amazing study that came out of Northwestern's Kellogg School of Management where they studied failures. They studied 3 different sort of areas where people or organizations failed. And what they wanted to determine was which ones became successful, right? So they studied grant applications to the National Institutes of Health. The second group they studied was startups, venture-backed, venture-funded startups. And the third one that they studied were terrorist attacks, right? If you can call failures and successes, ones that were actually successful. I don't call those successful, but they studied these 3 groups, right? And what they found is all the successful ones started as losers. So all the winners, all the successes first started as losers, but not all of the losers became successful. Here's the difference. Here's the difference in the ones who went from failure to success versus the ones who went from failure to never reaching success. The difference was how long the time was between attempts. The sooner you try again, the more successful you're likely to be. Failure is feedback. When you take this feedback and apply it again quickly, you are more likely to succeed. If you fail and say, oh, I'm not going to try again, or I'm not going to try again anytime soon, guess what? You're not going to get to that next level. You're not going to succeed. That's the difference. Failure is feedback. Take that feedback, apply it, and learn again and try again. That's how you go from failure to success. All of the successes first started as failures. They got feedback, they iterated, tried again. What about you? Are you going to stay down or are you going to try again? Because if you try again, and the sooner you try again, the more likely you are going to be successful.